I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me. Well, over the years, I've routinely recommended that people use a safe deposit box at a bank to store valuable papers and small assets. Valuable papers would include documents like wills, trust documents, ethical wills, and especially unrecorded deeds. Not recommended. A valuable asset would include diamonds, gemstones, jewelry, gold bullion, small collectibles like rare coin stamps and trading cards. The physical protection of a bank vault, plus a system of access that requires two keys kept by the customer and one by the bank, would seem to provide a great deal of security. Yet several recent news articles suggest safe deposit boxes may not be as safe as they seem. An article in the New York Times reported 44 robberies in the last 5 years related to safe deposit boxes. And even worse were numerous bank errors in which boxes were moved, misplaced, drilled open, or closed by mistake. A large Maryland bank closed several branches and lost hundreds of safe deposit boxes. One customer lost around $500,000 worth of gold and gems. Now here's the shocking part. In each case, banks vigorously fought any requirement to make their customers whole. You might be even more shocked to learn that there is no provision of federal banking laws that regulate safe deposit boxes. Nor do banks insure the belongings of customers who trustingly store their most precious valuables in safe deposit boxes. The risks here fall on the renter. It's similar to buyer beware. Wells Fargo's safe deposit box contract caps their liability at $500. Citigroup limits it to 500 times the box's annual rent. JP Morgan Chase has a $25,000 ceiling on its liability. Now, I've had some personal experience with this. Decades ago, I placed some rare coins in a safe deposit box with a local bank. A few years ago, I went to retrieve my valuables, only to find the bank had drilled the box open and sent the contents to the state as abandoned property. I learned that when I relocated my office, the change of address notification failed to carry through to the annual billing notice for the safe deposit box fee. So after 3 years of non-payment, the bank chose to go through the effort of drilling open the box and shipping the contents to the state treasurer's office. I think it would have been simpler to spend a few minutes looking up my information and contacting me. I really only moved a mile. Eventually, a long story, I was able to retrieve the contents of my box, so I was lucky. But one guy wasn't. An international expert in rare watches stored 92 watches plus rare coins worth millions of dollars in a safe deposit box at a Wells Fargo bank branch. Wells Fargo had evicted another customer for non-payment, but unfortunately, they drilled open the wrong safe deposit box. The customer found when he went in to check his box that his safe deposit box was empty. Wells Fargo executives could only find 85 of his 92 watches. So the customer sued. Wells Fargo admitted in court that its employees had mistakenly drilled into and terminated the box. The uncovered items, which included the gold and watches, estimated to be $1 million that he didn't get back. $1 million. After years of litigation and appeals, Wells Fargo has offered no restitution at all. Wow. If a safe deposit box really isn't safe, and obviously it isn't, what can you do Well, here's a couple suggestions. First, consider investing in a high-quality home safe for small valuables and important documents. At least you're not going to drill your own box open and send the contents into the ethosphere. Next, scan all your important documents and save the copies in a secure online vault. Many financial planners provide such online backup storage, and I'm sure there's a lot of places you can find that will give you this protection. If you do use a safe deposit box, choose one at the bank you use regularly, and what I fail to do, open it at least once a year. No matter where you keep your valuables, insure them adequately. And your standard homeowner's coverage is probably not going to cover these valuables. They're going to need to be scheduled. And finally, share the passwords and access codes with another trusted person. So, my final suggestion would be to ask before you store anything with a bank. Understand their contracts, understand what their liability is. Have a discussion and read about their policies before you trust any of your valuables to a bank. Don't learn the hard way like others have. Thanks for joining.